Hello? In this lesson, let's work with environment variables. We currently have a secret variable for GVT in our authentication flow. It shouldn't be stored in the code. It should be unknown to anyone except those with access to your servers. Such things need to be moved to environment variables. But since we're doing this, we'll also move the port to environment variables because it also depends on where it will be running. All right, let's add the following variables to our .env file. Use the variable port and add the variable gvtsecret. We already have this file because Prisma knows where to look for environment variables. But our project doesn't know how to do this yet, so we need to teach it. For this, we need a utility called .env. Let's install it in the backend. We'll install it in the backend and then create a libfile.env.ts with the following content. How does it work? We import .env and call .env-config. env config searches directories for the .env file. If it finds it, it retrieves variables and saves them in process env. But process.env has unclear types. We don't know which variables we declared. And if we use it directly like this, the process.env itself, for example, if our code was like this, it would basically work too. And we could specify process.env GVT secret here. But the problem is that this GVT secret is of type string, or undefined. We have no idea if it exists or not. Well, that's how process.env is structured, and it's inconvenient. We would like to know exactly what type it is. For this, there's such a wrapper. We're using our favorite Zod again and saying that our env is an object where there's a port. It's a string that will trim in terms of whitespace, removing from both sides. I once had a situation where I put something in an env variable, and there was a space, either at the beginning or the end. I couldn't figure out what was wrong for a long time, and that's why I added this trim feature. So after we parse our process env, spaces will be removed. This is just from experience, such a situation. Okay, and there must be at least one character, so it's not an empty string. This concerns all three variables, right? Since I want to forbid people who will develop this project with me from using prot.env as it is, I want to add a rule in ESLint to prohibit using prot.env directly, and it will indicate that it should be used only from the env variable, which already has good types. Okay, let's edit our root ESLint and add a rule. Here's the rule. But for it to work, we need to add a plugin. The plugin looks like this. Not. Good. Saved. And now, if we hadn't written this line, it would have. Now, let's restart the ESLint server. And the ESLint server should warn us if we use prot.env. So, there's another reason why it's not warning us. So first of all, let's talk about ESLint. Restart the ESLint server. It should start complaining by now. Maybe it's still lagging. Let's restart the code editor. You can call reload window, and everything will restart. ESLint should reattach now. Strange. And it's still not complaining. All right, suppose it's not complaining in this file. What if we use it here? Solvelog prot.nonenv.gvt secret. Still not complaining. That's odd. Let's check. Okay, I see. We forgot to install this plugin with Node itself. Let's install it in the backend. So, we've installed it, and now it's expectedly complaining at us. But this is the one place where I want to allow using prot.inv, and that's why I'll just say that we will disable this rule for this line. In other places, we'll use env in that way, but let's add port usage in index.ts. We take env, import it from the lib folder, and take the port variable. And here, accordingly, the line will be as follows: localhost env port. Good. So, moving on. Need to add a key to GVT. Our secret key. Again, INV. Yes, GVT secret. Good. We use it here when we sign something. And it is also used in the passport when we do the opposite, decrypt something. Okay, added this env. So, have we forgotten anything? Seems like we haven't forgotten anything. Let's check if everything works. So, judging by the processes, the backend is starting. Let's check if it's taking the right port. For example, we'll set it to 3123. And let's run it once more. Yes, it's correct. At the same time, remember, we already made a special entry in our package, Sony, for the backend to restart automatically when we change the env file. So I basically stopped it for no reason. Look, I changed it to 3000. Saving. And now our backend runs on port 3000. Excellent. Let's check if our authentication isn't broken. Our token got corrupted again. Why did it get corrupted? Because we changed our secret with which we encrypt it. So we need to go back to the application and deal with this token. What does this imply? That your old token cannot be changed or lost once you go live in production. Otherwise, you will lose. Well, your users just won't be able to log in. Okay, so sign in, QQ 1234. Sign in. Good, it works. Also, I ask you not to forget to update your nf.example file, because the .env file doesn't get into, and when other developers come, or you return to your project, you need to remember what nf variables you should have. Yes, of course, you've declared them in this file, but still it's convenient when you can just copy and apply them. Good. This way, we added nf variables to our backend. Thank you. Let's move on.